Hello learners, as part of the series related to religion of India, in this talk I will be focusing on the prominent religion which originated from India, Buddhism and Jainism. Let's go ahead with the basic roots of Buddhism. It is one of the major religions of the world today and it finds its roots in northeastern India. Siddhartha, popularly known as Gautam Buddha, laid the foundation stone for this new thought process and created a new set of religious code of ethics. Born in the Himalayan foothills, Siddhartha left his palace to live a life of a sage or an ascetic at an early age. He wandered throughout the modern day state of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar in India, and he covered a large number of stretch from the eastern side of India to Mathura in the west. The ancient Buddhist scriptures provide us a complete insight about the Buddha's journey. After many years of meditation, Buddha attained enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. The temple complex in Gaya, Bihar is an important pilgrimage site associated with the life of Gautam Buddha. In 2002, it was also declared as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Buddhism, like most of the great religions of the world, is divided into a number of different traditions. However, most traditions share a common set of fundamental beliefs. One central belief of Buddhism is also referred to as the concept of reincarnation, the concept that people are reborn after dying. According to this concept, most individuals go through many cycles of birth, of life, death and rebirth, and the meaning of the word Buddha means awakenment, coming from the Sanskrit word Budh, to wake. So, Buddha is a man who has woken fully from his deep sleep to discover the suffering that is going to be over. The historical Buddha is supposed to rediscover the ways in which the cycle of birth and rebirth can be stopped. One can come up with a life which is practical oriented and help in their spiritual elevation. A practicing Buddha differentiates between the concept of rebirth and reincarnation. In reincarnation, the individual may recur repeatedly. In rebirth, a person does not necessarily return to earth as the same entity ever again. He compares it to a leaf growing on a tree. Now, whenever we see a withering leaf falling off, a new leaf will eventually replace it. It is similar to the old leaf, but it is not identical to the original leaf. Buddhism is a philosophy which was expounded by Gautam Buddha, the enlightened soul who lived and taught in northern India in the 6th century BC. Gautam Buddha philosophy is widely prevalent today and is popular across the world. His teachings are aimed slowly at liberating the human beings from suffering. So now let me take you to the basic teachings of Buddha, which are core of Buddhism. Some of the prominent are the 3 universal truths, the 4 noble truths and the 8-fold paths. Let me take you to the 3 universal truths. The first truth is nothing is lost in the universe. Second, everything changes. And the third one, the law of cause and effect in Buddhism. The law of karma says that for every event that occurs, there will be another event who's based on the first one, and the second event may be pleasant or unpleasant according to the cause of the first event. Therefore, according to Buddhism, the law of karma teaches that it is a responsibility of all of us to take skillful and righteous action so that the events are positive and favorable to all of us. The practices which consist of Buddhist tradition comprises of Sila, which is virtue, good conduct, virtue, good conduct, morality. It is based on the fundamental principles of equality, that all living entities are equal. They focus on Samadhi, which is also known as concentration or meditation, mental development of one's mind to the path of wisdom, which leads to freedom. It also strengthens and control our mind and help in maintaining a good code of conduct. The third one is the prajna, which is insightfulness, wisdom and enlightenment. This is the real heart of Buddhism. Wisdom will emerge if your mind is pure and calm. The first two paths listed in the Eightfold Path also describe that they are important aspects for concentration and elevation of an individual. An important aspect of Buddhism is the Four Noble Truths. The Buddha's Four Noble Truths explore human sufferings. They may be described simplistically as dukkha. Sufferings exist, life is a suffering, suffering is real and almost universal. It may have many causes, for example, sickness, pain, failure. Samudaya, this is the cause of suffering. Suffering is due to attachment. If we have a desire to control things, it can take many forms, leading to pleasures. We must avoid unpleasant sensations like fear, anger or jealousy. The third one is Nirodha. It is the end of suffering. Attachment can be overcome. Suffering ceases with the final liberation of Nirvana. The mind experiences complete freedom, liberation and non-attachment, and it should let go any desires of carving. The last one is Magga, which indicates that to enter the suffering you must follow the Eightfold Path. This path will help us in accomplishing the real objectives of life. Now let me discuss with you the Noble Eightfold Paths. They are the right view, right thought, right speech, right action. The fifth one is right livelihood, right effort. Seventh is right mindfulness and the eighth one is right concentration. In Buddhism, these paths are very important and one should practice them daily. The wheel is a symbol of dharma and is shown with 8 spokes which represent the Noble Eightfold Path. Right view is important at the initial stage, because if we cannot see the truth of the Four Noble Truths discussed earlier, we cannot make any sort of beginning. Right thought will lead us to right action and right way of living our life. So all these help us to use our intelligence and follow the basic principles of Lord Buddha. Some of the other aspects related to Buddhism are also explained. The first one is do not harm or kill anyone, that is also known as absence of violence. Do not steal. This is interpreted as including the avoidance of fraud or any such economic exploitation. The next part associated with Buddhism philosophy is do not lie. This is sometimes interpreted as including using of wrong information, gossip, etc. Buddhists are supposed to be away from adultery. They should not consume alcohol and drugs. The main concern is here that if we use these intoxicants, it may have an impact on our mind and our right way of thinking. So all these principles are useful. We should be very good in following them in terms of preparing a life which is monastic, which is related to help society, and we must avoid the various activities which are sinful in nature. The Buddhists also discourage taking untimely meal. Use of dancing, singing and music only should be for divine purposes. They also are against use of lot of perfumes and personal adornments or accepting gift in gold and silver. So these are some of those basic principles that are followed by Buddhists across the world. Now, as far as Indian conditions are concerned, let me give you an overview of the Buddhist heritage. As we know that Buddhism holds its roots in the heart of Indian subcontinent. Lord Buddha was born in Lumbini, which is a part of an Indo-Gangetic plain. He travelled extensively throughout the modern day Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Nepal. His meditations are an integral part of Buddhist texts, and his preachings are formed on the pillars around the major Buddhist stupas. The Buddhist philosophy focus on the mystery of universe, the various stages of Lord Buddha, the role of avoiding sinful activities, and the important schools of thoughts associated with Buddhism. These schools of thoughts are further divided into subsects according to the various branches that have emerged over a period of time. The split actually occurred during the time of King Ashok. Buddhism spread rapidly during this era across Central Asia towards Europe and different parts of Southeast Asia. The missionary religion had a lot of influence on these areas, and in the later Gupta period and the Pala Empire also, the invasions from Central India led to the growth and development of this religion. Today, most of the Buddhist heritage lie in the South and the Southeast Asia, and there are a number of pilgrimage sites in India which focus on the important teachings and the influence of Buddhism on the day-to-day life. As far as the Ministry of Tourism is concerned, we have identified a number of places which are part of Buddha circuit. Now, what is a Buddha circuit? Geographically, historically, culturally and religiously, the state of Bihar is a rich place associated with Buddhism. This state has a very much great heritage of Buddha. It has a great competitive advantage from the view of the other states of India. Therefore, the government of Bihar has introduced new and innovative ways to boost tourism in the state by developing new tourist sites associated with Lord Buddha, by renovating the existing ones. So, we have the renovation, we have the development, and it is found that the Buddhist circuits contributes to a great amount in terms of the employment and revenue generation. Domestic and foreign tourists visit Bihar as a part of pilgrimage, and today Bihar attracts more foreign tourists than any other state of India. Primarily, these tourists are from Japan, parts of China and other parts of the world. The major strengths of the Buddha circuit that is identified are as follows. First of all, it is a well-established pilgrimage route. It has a global market of around 450 million Buddhist followers. All countries with strong Buddhist culture have monasteries on the circuit, so they wish to visit these places. The importance of Buddhist circuit makes it attractive for the non-Buddhists to also visit. These circuits have well-preserved Buddhist sites and Buddhist artifacts. The temples and stupas on the circuit dates back over 2000 years. So, we have large number of museums in some of the prominent places such as Sarnath, Bodh Gaya and Patna. Patna is very famous for its relic stupas, and the adjoining areas are also important from tourism point of view. We have seen that as a part of the circuit development, there are various facilities for pilgrimage and tourists that are developed by the government. The tour operators provide a number of services in the form of packages and information. The accommodation on the circuit varies from dharamshalas to 3-star hotels, and they are all well connected by road, rail and major airports of India. I will now discuss with you some of the prominent circuits. The first circuit is the Dharmayatra circuit, which is also known as a sacred circuit. It is for 5 to 7 days. It includes visit to Gaya, part of Bodh Gaya, Varanasi, where you have Sarnath, Kushinagar and Kapilavastu, and also a one-day trip to Lumbini in Nepal. The second extended Dharmyatra circuit is on the Buddha's footsteps. This circuit covers a wide range of attractions, and from 10 to 15 days it again includes visit to Bodh Gaya, Nalanda, Rajgir, Patna, under Patna Vaishali, Patna Museum, Sarnath, Kushinagar, Kapilavastu, Shravasti. So, these are some of the prominent places that are covered during the circuit. The third Buddhist circuit is related with the heritage trails. It comprises of places in Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar, parts of Himachal Pradesh, for example, Dharamshala in Lahore, parts of Punjab, some parts of Haryana, for example, Jind and Yamunanagar, parts of Maharashtra comprising of Ajanta Ellora caves, Pune. So, in this the government has launched a strategy for integrated tourism development of the Buddhist circuit, especially in the state of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. There is a lot of investment that is going on. Support from international organizations and World Bank is also received. Tourism Ministry has also contributed around 225 lakhs for the development of projects. The local communities are involved in the creation of around 10,000 jobs. The strategy is aimed at infrastructure development, skill development, increased market access, enhancing the visitors' experience in Buddhist circuit. The government is aggressively promoting Buddha tourism as a part of its foreign policy. The Look East policy targets connecting Southeast and Asian countries to Indian hinterland through the northeastern region. So, along with Japanese government collaboration, the government of Chhattisgarh is also planning to develop a Buddhist tourism circuit in Sirpur in association with the center. The government is also making efforts to get World Heritage Site recognition for Sirpur, which is an important place both from the aspect of Buddhism as well as Hinduism. So, as far as Buddhism is concerned, we have understood that it has certain specific features, certain belief systems, and the government of India is very seriously investing in the development of Buddhist circuit. Now, let me take you to another prominent religion of India, which is known as Jainism. I am sure you must have heard about this religion, and you might be having friends who follow the Jain religion. Jains consider their religion as timeless with no origin or end, and the religion is survived by a succession of Tirthankaras who help people to cross the ocean of life. This religion is the world's oldest religion, and it predates Christianity, Islam and Sikhism. The 24th and the last Tirthankara, Mahavir, was a contemporary of Buddha. Unlike the other religion, Jainism originated in Indo-Gangetic plain. Rishabdev was the first Tirthankara whose reference is found at Ayodhya. Rishabh divided his kingdom between his 100 sons, making Bharata the eldest king of the north and Bahubali in charge of the southern capital at the Indian subcontinent. Rishabh left to meditate in the forest, gained. After Rishabh, the various teachings of Jainism were propagated through a body of sculptures, memorized and orally passed through the ages. The history records the existence of Parsavnath and Mahavira 1599 to 520 BCE and various legends associated with the sutras that are mentioned related to the meeting between the various disciples of Mahavira. There are various branches of Jain philosophy which were unified, and the basic teachings of Jainism today comprises of aspects related to ahimsa or non-violence. Now, in this session, I would like to share with you some of the fundamental core tenets of Jainism. The first is the concept of jiva or soul. All living beings are called jivas. Jiva have consciousness known as the soul, which is also known as Atma or Chetna. The soul and the body are two different entities. The soul cannot be reproduced. It is described as a sort of energy which is indestructible, invisible and shapeless. Jainism divides jivas into 5 categories ranging from 1 censored being to 5 censored being. The body is merely a home for the soul. At the time of death, the soul leaves the body to occupy a new one. Tirthankaras have said that the soul has an infinite capacity to know and perceive. This capacity of the soul is not experienced in its present state because of accumulated karmas. The second aspect of Jainism is ajiva or non-living matter. Anything that is not a soul is called ajiv. Ajiv does not have consciousness. Jainism divides ajiv in 5 broad categories related to motion, related to rest, space, matter and time. So, that is another important aspect. The third one is the punya or the result of good deeds. By undertaking these wholesome activities, we can acquire good karmas. Activities such as donating food and other items to needy people, doing charity, propagating religion helps to improve karma. When punya matures, it brings forth worldly comforts and happiness. So, it is an integral part of the Jain philosophy, whereas pap is considered to be a result of bad deeds. By undertaking bad activities, we enter into bad karmas. These karmas could be cruel and violent activities, showing disrespect to parents or teachers, being angry or greedy, arrogance and indulging in various other activities which are not socially acceptable. So, when pap matures, it brings forth worldly sufferings, misery and unhappiness. The next part of Jain philosophy is the influx of karma, which is also known as asrav. It is caused by wrong belief, observing wrong practices, negligence towards duty. So, all these aspects we need to be careful in our life. We need to have proper psychophysical activities, and the karmas should help in the mental, verbal and good physical activities. Another important philosophy of Jainism is bandhan, bondage of karma. It refers to the actual binding of karma to the soul. Bandhan occurs when we react to any situation with a sense of attachment. The last aspect is the samvar or the stoppage of karma. It is a process by which the karma practices are stopped. This is achieved by observing samadhi and control, use of various dharma path, contemplating on mental reflections and the sufferings of the world. Nirjara is the eradication of karmas. It is a process we shed off karmas. Karmas can be shed out by our passive or active efforts. When we passively wait for karmas to mature and give their result in due time, it is known as akam nirjara. On the other hand, if we put active efforts for the karmas to mature earlier than due time, it is called sakam nirjara. So, basically the focus of all these philosophical traditions is on spirituality, on asking for forgiveness, for helping the human life to elevate, not to cause injury or discomfort to anyone, focus on meditation, and the most important aspect, moksha, that is liberation. When we get rid of all the karmas, we attain liberation or moksha. So, the reasons why Jainism is very popular in India and different parts of the world is, first of all, use of simple language. Mahavira's religious messages were in simple language. His religion was spread through the language of the common people, and in those times it was Magadhi, Prakrit and the local languages. The large sections of masses were drawn to it as this was a language they spoke and understood. This acceptance by the masses led to the spread of Jainism throughout India. Second, Vardhamana's Mahavira's doctrine are in simple language. The people at that time were very much fed up with the religious complex Vedic rites. They wanted information and practices which are simple, and they found it easy to understand and accept the non-violence and other practical moralities that Jainism has advocated. So, it led to a simple way of liberation over the Vedic religion, and it gained wide adherence. Personality of Mahavira was also one of the very important and an impressive factor in the growth and development of Jainism. His simple way of living, his impressive manner of conversation, and his pious teachings drew the masses to him. It led to the rejection of a highly complex Vedic rite system of rituals and a de-recognition that God can come and spiritual elevation can be achieved only by few. So, all this led to a lot of support and acceptance, and thus Jainism today is a highly successful and a practicing religion across the globe. The Jainism also as a religion received patronage from kings and rulers. The Kshatriya kings and princes who were already unhappy with the increased influence of Brahmanas in the society came to accept Jainism and patronized them as an anti-Brahmanical event and supported them. The various kings of Magadha and their successors patronized Jainism. There are a lot of writings by various professors that the Nanda dynasty also patronized Jainism during this time. So, we find that in our historical text patronage was given, the religion rose rapidly and extensively. Emperors of Kalinga also played a wide role in spreading Jainism during the 1st century BC. In course of time, various southern dynasties like the Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas also patronized this religion. The religion retains its credibility during the Mughal Empire, and we have references of various Jain saints invited by Emperor Akbar to his Fatehpur Sikri court to promote Jain spirituality. Therefore, royal patronage was one of the important factors in the spread of Jainism. Along with this, the Jain monks also played an exemplary role in promoting the spreading of the teachings of Jainism. They travelled to various places across the world to spread the teachings of Mahavira in every nook and corner of the country. Jain saints known as Bhadrabahu was instrumental in the spread of Jainism in southern India during 4th century BC. He had visited so many places, and he has written elaborate account related to the acceptance of Jainism by traders and businessmen. The Jain assembly at Patliputra, convened after Bhadrabahu's departure for the south, compiled the teachings of Mahavira into 12 Angas. Another assembly was convened in 512 BC at Vallabha in Gujarat under the chairmanship of Nagarjuna. It codified all principles and agams of Jainism into a specific sculptural book. So, these saints also helped in the promotion of Jainism throughout India. The various cave complexes of Udaygiri in Bhubaneswar are also important centers of Jain philosophy. The Jain writers played a prominent role in contributing towards the development of religion. They wrote text in local language and help people to understand the basic philosophy of the religion. So, what we can find from this entire account of Jainism is that Jainism received lot of patronage, it was welcomed by the people, there was lot of spiritual radiance which led to its growth and popularity. The focus of Jain religion is on conduct, especially household conduct, on the concept of dharma, worship. They are involved in number of prayer activities, kriyas, festivals. Jains focus most on fasting, which is also known as tapa, meditation, dhyan. They also do lot of spiritual exercises. There are a number of rituals and festivals that are celebrated, and today we have a large number of people who not only celebrate them but have a significant meaning of the Jain practices in their life. The rituals of Jainism are focused on helping people to elevate. Many events of Mahavira's life are acted out frequently in the symbolic form and in the form of actions, words and images during the various religious activities. People follow simple rituals. The focus is on the expression of devotion to the Tirthankaras, simple practices, a lifestyle which helps them to elevate, a worship pattern based on deep concentration, pure thoughts free of violence and accumulated karma. Let me take you to the pilgrimage in Jains. Today Jain Munis travel around the country propagating the teachings of Jain or Tirthankaras. They have written number of texts and they have conducted number of pravachans for spreading the knowledge of the Jain way of living. Number of Jain saints are internationally recognized, and some of them who have written number of granthas and texts related to the basic philosophy of Jainism. The important pilgrimage spots of Jainism today are in the various aspects of India, different places of India, such as in Ellora caves we have a large idol of Lord Rishabh which is found in India, and there are other places which are associated with beautiful Jain temples and related to Tirthankaras. So, what we see today is a different form of Jainism. We find new temples are being constructed across the country by Jain Munis for pilgrimage and darshan. So, in this session we have tried to understand that India is a birthplace for two major religions of the world, Buddhism and Jainism. Both religions originated due to the revolt of local people against the supremacy of Brahmanism. They were given extensive patronage by the royal court. Masses accepted the teachings, and today these religions flourish not only in India but different parts of the world. Government of India through its various schemes and policies are promoting the concept of pilgrimage tourist. In the case of Buddhism, a lot of international travelers come to India. They are provided various facilities and support services during this stay, and in the context of Jainism, we have not only NRI Indians but lot of spiritual speakers who come to this country to understand its philosophy and to practice the Jain way of life.